You're entering VTV's Chamber Zone. Your business community at work. Representing the Vernal area and Duchesne County Chambers of Commerce, here's Adam Massey and Irene Hansen.
Hello, I'm Adam Massey with the Vernal Area Chamber of Commerce, and joining me today is Irene Hansen with the Duchesne County Chamber of Commerce. And you're watching Chamber Zone, your business community at work. Irene, it's great to be back with you again today. We were just sitting here visiting a little bit about all the exciting things that we have going on in both of our counties. And you know, a lot of the new infrastructure that we're getting, I know you guys have got a real exciting project going on over your way that you've been doing a lot of fundraising for, and you've had a lot of companies step up and help with what you're trying to accomplish there. Maybe you can give us a highlight and tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Adam, we are excited, I'll tell you. In fact, I have to show you our green bag here. We put a swim cap on President Roosevelt because we're trying to promote the aquatic center that we're hoping to get built in Roosevelt. You know, we've been inspired by Vernal, quite frankly. I mean, the beautiful rec center. Now, ours will be very, very, very much smaller, won't have a lot of the amenities, but you know, that's great because we have that beautiful rec center here in Vernal, and that will really still be the destination. But we're excited to have a year-round pool, something where we can get people out and about, do some help. But really the inspiring part to me, other than putting a swim cap on President Roosevelt, I'm leaving these for presents today, but you know, it's really about help. And you know, as companies have stepped up, I think we had a company say something when they made their donation. We have to be a part of building the kind of community that we want to be a part of.
That's great.
And you know, I'll never forget that, because I realized, you know, at first you think it's just generosity, and in its purest form it is.
Sure.
But the other part of that is they are creating the community in which they want to live. And speaking of that, Adam, we chit-chat so much, sometimes they have a hard time stopping us to start the show. But as we were visiting before the show, you mentioned that you got to visit another community. It's another rural community. And sometimes it isn't until we make those, you know, you were actually a featured speaker there, come to inspire them. But what's exciting to me is when you come back, you realize, man, we've got the best of all worlds here.
You know, sometimes we forget how good we do have it. And it's kind of one of those things where you're just around it all the time and you kind of take it for granted. And I did. I had my state chamber meetings. I had one of the executive directors from another chamber of commerce ask me if I would be willing to come and speak and talk about our area, because as you well know, Irene, the Uinta Basin has just been highlighted. I know at our state chamber board meetings, just about everybody that came and spoke for 2 days talked about the Uinta Basin and all the potential and all the job growth and everything, the low unemployment, everything that's going on. And I took those with me and went down and highlighted what we were doing. And you know, and the biggest thing I came away with is I set up that night, and I had things scattered all over my bed as I was preparing to what I wanted to talk about was you know, just the great partnerships that we've had. And obviously energy drives our economy. We've talked about that before. It continues and always will. We have a fantastic travel and tourism. A lot of people come to our area, and we're able to incorporate those two together, and just fantastic job all the way around. And it's like you said, and I love the quote, you know, a rising tide raises all ships, and it helps both of our communities. And you know, I really, after having an opportunity to speak there and talk about some of the neat things that we're able to do, I really came back with a great appreciation for our community and those partnerships we've developed. And you know, we talk about the things, the infrastructure and the different things that we're able to that come from that. But sometimes I think we forget, and one thing I like to really highlight is you know, some of the things we've been able to do with some of that extra money. You look at the Basin Transit Association that we've been able to provide for a lot of people. And you look at some of the low-income housing with grants and match money that we've been able to come up with. The new health healthcare opportunities that are available here. We just had them come and speak at our chamber luncheon last week. And you know, so we really provide for our community. And just along with what that gentleman told you, if we're going to be a part of that community, we want to be you know, involved with it and helping with the health care.
Help build it.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. And so, you know, I really believe that's how these companies feel. And like you said, it's the purest form it is. It is a very generous gift. but they provide a lot of other things for people. And you know, I came back with a greater appreciation for our area and all the things that we're able to do, because we have such great relationships. One of the people that I seen in that community had been in our area for a while, and he said, you know, what you have up there in the basin with Utah State University and the Uinta Basin Applied Technology Center, he said, is what the rest of the state, you're the model for the whole state. Everybody would love to have that cooperative effort and the programs that you're able to provide. And there again, industry stepped up, provided equipment for that, and we're very fortunate. And we've got great people here in a lot of areas that makes everything work. And I'm preaching to the choir because you know exactly what I'm saying, but it's very inspiring to come back. I was very much excited to get back home, and just grateful for what we have and all the people that help provide it.
You know, and again, right now, and this wasn't part of our dialogue, but I have to say we're starting with election season, and you know,
Absolutely.
it really is about visionary leaders.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank one of them today that has been in office, and second of all, you know, go to your caucus meetings,
Absolutely.
make sure you vote, get involved, encourage those candidates that are stepping up.
Yeah.
It's very hard, but again, it's about visionary leadership, and that's why
Right.
we're where we are.
We're very fortunate, and you're absolutely right. And you know, let's keep that ball rolling. We want it to continue, and we've got a lot of good people in a lot of good places, and let's keep moving forward. Well, we're going to be right back to talk more about your local chambers of commerce and community events right after this.
Almost 45% of the oil produced in Utah, 7.8 million barrels, comes from Duchesne County. That oil feeds our state economy, provides job growth, and supports local business. Here in Duchesne County, we're working to make Utah an economic, cultural, and technological leader. Whether you're here for business or pleasure, Duchesne County will welcome you with open arms and invite you to explore all the beauty of the Uinta Mountains. Duchesne County, close enough for business, far enough to get away.
Welcome back to Chamber Zone, your business community at work. Irene, before we took the break, we were talking about what a great area we have, and you know, highlighted the aquatic center that you've got coming up, and we've got some other neat things going on, and I know you've got a few things that you wanted to visit a little bit about, so let's jump right in and talk about some other things we've got coming up. And you know, I know you've got a meeting deal here that's coming up that's going to talk about some things in our area, so let's go ahead and jump into that.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that's exciting, you know, what's amazing in the energy industry is technology is embraced. I can't imagine, you know, when you think of other industries, you know, man, a new idea comes, you know, and people just don't want to change. The energy industry, nothing could be further from the truth.
Right.
So one of the exciting things that comes up every year is they actually do a Waxy Crude conference. Now this year it's on April 10th, and it's here in Vernal at the Technology College.
Super.
And it brings the best and brightest scientists and the producers together, because basically they want to make sure they don't miss an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And you know, USTAR, which is of course is supported here locally,
Sure.
as well. It's actually a state program, but USU, the Applied Technology Center, and the Uinta Mitigation District has been very aggressive about making sure the Uinta Basin was top on their radar.
Good.
And you know, solving the waxy crude problem. You know, so what's amazing, and you know this, it's just fun, because who would have ever thought that in the Uinta Basin that you might have a scientist come into your office, travel from halfway across the world, and they're here looking at ways to make the Uinta Basin more sustainable.
Sure.
And understanding that when we have a product we need to get out of here, and we need to modify it, maybe it needs to travel through a pipeline. Maybe that would be more efficient. Maybe it needs to go out on a rail car.
Sure.
But it's exciting that all of those things are being discussed. So again, on April 10th, scientists, production companies,
Fantastic.
economic development people, and business people coming together right here in Vernal to make sure that we're looking at the best technology available.
And it does change very quickly. It's really interesting. I'd seen something on Fox News here just a while back. They actually had Jeff Hartley with Red Leaf Resources on, and
Yes.
they were talking about the top paying jobs in the state. And when they got up to the top two, number one is usually always an engineer, in which it was, but tied with engineer for top wage was the energy industry. And one thing that Jeff talked a lot about, he said, you know, the kids that are coming up now are the ones that are coming up with these new technologies, the new ideas, the new inventions that will take us to the next level. And you look back over what we've seen in our lifetime with the technology and how it's developed in the energy industry, and it's been amazing. And how's that go? Mother Nature is the necessity of invention.
That's
You know what I'm
exactly
trying to say.
That's
But
exactly
yeah,
right.
and it does. Every time it seems like we've hit a wall, then technology catches up,
It
and
does.
because there's a demand for something, and then we have the brightest minds come together to make that technology happen, and so we're very fortunate.
And that's why oftentimes one of the things that I constantly say, because people will say, well, 50 years ago, by darn, I know that something was done wrong, or look at the mess that was left. But you know what? When we know better, we do better.
Absolutely.
And new technology is embraced almost really in every industry. Our agriculture industry, our healthcare industry, but again, our energy industry, and solving problems, coming together. And our university, wow, they're constantly on the cutting edge.
Right.
Utah State University and even the University of Utah of saying, let's come together and see if we can solve those problems. Sure. So, I think what we're going to see in the next few years, because we are becoming so environmentally minded, we know that we can do it well,
right.
But we can always improve.
And we always talk about the doing things responsibly, and I think that's just on everybody's mind today.
It is.
It's everybody wants to do well, and we highlighted that a bit in the first segment of the show of people are going to be involved in the community. They're concerned about the community. They want to make sure the community's doing well as a whole too, and so we see that. And I had an opportunity. It kind of deals with this also this past week to attend a job fair that we had here locally, and I thought, I know our unemployment rates have been low, so I wasn't sure how well that would be attended, and we actually had a really good turnout. The Department of Workforce Services, Bob Gilbert there, brought the new unemployment numbers, and as you well know, Duchesne County has continued to lead the state in the lowest unemployment. Uintah County is usually second, and that trend has continued. I believe we were down around 3.2 to 3.4. It's just amazing, and you go other places or talk to people from other areas. One of the areas that we highlighted in the first part that I had been to speak has 8% unemployment. And as we went through there, there was about 10 or 12 companies that were there that were looking to hire people immediately.
Wow.
You open the paper, they're looking for people. And it's very interesting. As we talked to them, they would have hired 100 people that day with starting wage at $17 and higher. And it's just amazing, how fortunate we are as you look around the rest of the country to see that just doesn't happen everywhere.
Do you know how tempted I'm not tempted, Adam. You know me, I just do it. When I go somewhere, it doesn't matter, especially if it's more of a depressed area,
Yep.
and I see an outstanding employee or a
Yep.
person, whether it's a server in a restaurant or whether it's an engineer.
Yep.
I'm always tempted to say, you want to make the Uintah Basin your home?
Yeah.
We got a place for you.
Absolutely.
And so what do those great jobs do? They're drawing the most incredible, the brightest. And I know I'm kind of getting old because, I get excited about these young people.
Yeah.
When you go
Yeah.
to an event and you look out, and this doesn't happen in rural America, and you see
Yeah.
families.
Absolutely.
People there raising their kids.
Yeah.
I know we keep saying that we're the luckiest people in the world.
We are, and it's all about those opportunities, and we're very grateful. Well, hey, it's been great to be with you again here at Chamber Zone. Please join us next time right here on VTV Channel 6, and until then, we'll see you. Bye.